Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Empowered Pause. Good evening. We'll wait for a few people to jump in. If not, I will just do the pause and hopefully you'll be able to view this afterwards since the stream will be saved live. Give me one moment. Let's just make sure everyone can see me and hear me. Okay, awesome. Okay, so good evening again. Welcome to the Empowered Pause. I am Rachel Chinoa J, your host, and the Empowered Pause is just a 10 to 15-minute check-in every Wednesday evening just to give our speakers and our listeners an opportunity to check in, reach out, see what's going on, see how you're feeling, and get hopefully some nuggets for the next week to go forward with, right? Before we get started, I just want to let you know that Speak Initiative is a nonprofit organization that's committed to combating the rise of suicide in our communities. SPEAK stands for Suicide Prevention Through Empowerment, Action, and Kindness. And as you can see by the banner below, we are still taking donations, which are tax deductible, to reach our goal of 25K within the year, within the next few months, actually. So if you would like to give or to see more information about Speak Initiative, please go to our website, which is www.speaksuicideprevention.org. And I see a couple of comments in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Lisa. How are you? Hello, Yvette and Deneen and Kishana. Thank you for joining me. I won't take up too much of your time today. We're just going to be here for a few minutes. And today, I would like to talk about the concept of rest. Now, I know a few weeks ago, we talked about the actual pause and why sometimes we need to actually check in and take a pause for ourselves. Thank you for putting that website up, Lisa. I appreciate it. Why we actually sometimes need to take a pause. But I wanted to go a little bit further into that and look at the idea of rest. Now, of course, most of us, we sleep every day. We have to rest because our bodies do not allow us to push through beyond our limits, right? But do we get the rest that we actually need? Are we resting or just are we crashing and going to sleep and, exhausted from our days that we're not even intentional about our rest, that we fall asleep, wake up, fall asleep, wake up, but don't actually get a chance to really rest, right? I had to take a moment for myself again. And that happens often. And sometimes, you find yourself taking these moments. We're human, we have things going on. We should be allowed to take these moments because without giving ourselves rest, proper rest, we will not be able to accomplish the things that we actually want to accomplish, right? Lisa said, crashing like a computer. Exactly. We will crash and burn, unfortunately. So yes, rest is definitely important for a reset. So what I found was over this past week, again, I, in a moment of transparency, I don't think I have slept much in the last 90 days. And unfortunately, there was a lot of stuff going on. Life happens and we get caught up and emotions are high and trying to meet expectations and meet deadlines and be present for others. Sometimes we are not present enough for ourselves. So I realized that I really hadn't had a good night's sleep in about 3 months. And this past weekend, I managed to escape from the city again because I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that. Sometimes we're not fortunate enough to be able, but we should be intentional about finding space that allows us to make these concessions for ourselves, right? So again, I slept most of my weekend. Actually, I had plans to open my laptop and to get some work done. My laptop never left my bag. And usually I would be the person who's a little bothered by that, or, you're supposed to do these things. You have a list of things to do. You want to be productive. But guess what my body said? My body said, go to sleep. And I had to oblige because I had no choice in the matter. Um, it's not always productive or helpful when you have no choice in the matter. When you crash, it's out of exhaustion. It's out of your body can no longer function at the level that you've been functioning for so long, right? So let's try to avoid that crash moment. Let's try to give ourselves proper rest in our kind of like our stable or our foundation moments, our calm moments. So when we actually do have those escalated moments, it won't take us for such a loop, right? Again, life happens. I experienced a few people transitioning within the last 90 days. Actually, within the last 3 months, I've experienced maybe 3 to 4 people who have gone on to the next plane of existence, right? I don't like to call it death so much because it is death, but it's also a transition of your life or anyone who was connected to that person. So, in any event, these things happen, right? And of course, when things like this are unexpected, it may throw you for a loop. I was thrown for a loop, didn't realize the loop was as big as it was. And I was going around in circles on that loop without giving myself the proper opportunity to get some rest. So that's what I'm here for today, just to remind you, be intentional about the things that are necessary in your life. Be intentional about taking that space and taking that time to say, you know what, I have a few extra hours today, or maybe 30 minutes. Take some downtime, take that rest, because you don't know when your body is going to say to you, guess what? I'm tired and I don't want to do this anymore. And God forbid, it's during a time when you really need to be present, right? Um, Sometimes things do not go as we would like them to go. Our plans are, I think there's a saying that says, write your plans down in pencil, because the universe is always going to change them. Or when we plan, God laughs because we can make all the plans we want, but we don't know what tomorrow holds, definitely, until we get to that tomorrow, right? So I just wanted to um, give ourselves permission to actually truthfully rest. It's not just going to bed and we wake up and we do it tomorrow, we do it again tomorrow, and it's the same cycle. But give yourself that time. Say to yourself, I actually am going to have a nighttime routine this evening where I take my wind down bath. I hope to do this every Wednesday. I take my wind down bath and I have some candles, or maybe I'll put on some music or probably read, but it's intentional rest. It's not just I'm sitting at the couch or I'm watching a video and I pass out, because it's that time. That's exhaustion. That's not, you're resting, but it's a forced rest. You have to have me time. You have to give yourself that reprieve to say, am I okay? I didn't realize I hadn't rested appropriately in 90 days until I crashed and I couldn't do nothing else. Well, couldn't do anything else but sleep, right? It's not always convenient to get to that point. It's not always convenient to just have to sleep when you know you have other things going on. But that's what happened in my case, right? So I don't want to keep you here long. I just wanted to come in, take a moment to give you that pause, give us that pause, give you a couple of nuggets. Of course, yes, we all sleep, we all rest, but intentional rest, rest that will restore, rest that is restoration, rest that is rejuvenation, rest that actually um, speaks to who you are, right? You're giving yourself the opportunity to say, I deserve to feel healthier and feel stronger and feel more focused. I may need to go to bed earlier. I may need to not stay up binge watching certain shows in the middle of the night if I have intentions and I want to go running or walking at 6 a.m. If I have specific goals in mind, then I know in order to meet those goals, I have to give myself the things I need, which is rest, right? So I appreciate everyone who has joined me tonight for this Empowered Pause. I appreciate everyone who's been commenting. Thank you so much for being here. Again, we are here every week, Wednesday at 7:15 p.m. If you want to know more information about Speak Initiative, the work that we're doing, the programs that we have, feel free to reach out on our Facebook page in the Messenger or directly on our website, again, which is www.speaksuicideprevention.org. If you have any questions, comments, I definitely love to be in conversation with anyone who's here. And if you are interested in helping in any way or providing resources that may be available, that may be helpful to some of our speakers or some of our listeners who are part of the program, please feel free to let me know or let us know in an email. Okay, so again, this was the Empowered Pause for today. I appreciate you joining me for this short pause of a moment. Take rest. Give yourself intentional peace. Give yourself intentional rest so that you can be your best going forward. Have a great week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Thank you.